Hi kids. Okay, so today we're going to be learning about similes and metaphors. On this title page I have this picture down at the bottom that says similes are like metaphors. It's just supposed to be a fun little picture for you guys to look at, and when I click on it, it will take us to a YouTube video. And it will show that 3-minute video just that has to do with similes and metaphors, just a fun little kid video to get you guys engaged, get them thinking about what a simile is and the difference between a simile and a metaphor. On the second slide, I have a little T-chart between the similes and metaphors. This magic box has examples that the kids will pull out and place underneath the correct spot. And then once they have gotten all of those done, I use the shape tool here at the bottom to reveal part of the page and keep part of the page hidden without having to use the reveal tool, where it covers the entire or every single slide, because I didn't really like that. So once the kids have pulled every single one out of the box and placed it where they think is correct, I can move this shape and reveal all the answers. And I do not know why this random D is here, so I'm just going to delete that right now. And then, like I said, I can cover and I can reveal right away, or however I want to use that tool without having to use the reveal button and have every single slide covered. On the third slide, I just have the title simile and then another shape tool covering the definition of a simile. And I would plan to I would ask all the kids, does anybody know what a simile is? And wait for a kid to raise their hand, call on them, hear examples of definitions, and then I can move the rectangle and have the definition showing. I have the words like or as in a different color than the definition since they're important. And then I can use this shape just to cover it back or leave it revealed or whatever I want. On the fourth slide, I just have simple examples of similes that we can read and talk about. I may even add a shape over part of it and reveal one by one. Or I could not have changed the like or as already and maybe had the kids come up and use the highlight tool, like so, or something like that. There's a couple different options. On the next slide, I am using the highlighting tool. You can see that I highlighted the word highlight, and I would have the kids come up, just choose random kids at a time and highlight the sentences that are similes so they can go through and see she's as beautiful as a summer day. It uses the word like or as, and they can come up and highlight like so. That's a fun little tool to get the kids engaged and get them up to the board, get them out of their seats, get them moving, keep them focused, and then a lot of them typically like that power of being able to go up and touch the board and do things like that. On the next slide, I have the exact same thing as I did with the similes, where I might ask the kids, does anybody know what a metaphor is? And then get a couple definitions, and then I can just reveal the definition, and we can talk about that a little bit without having to use that whole reveal tool. I have some examples of metaphors here to go over. We can talk about why it is a metaphor and not a simile. On the next slide, I have the same. I have sentences for kids to come up and highlight what sentences are metaphors. And then on the next slide, I used the preset activity template. So this was already on the computer, and then I just have examples, and this is the final assessment, as you can see, and I will tell the kids to drag the sentences from the middle to the appropriate side. So as kids come up and they are either doing this on the board as a class, or if they all have it up on their computer, they can do it on their own. And they're just simply dragging them to the correct spots. And then we may go over them as a class, or maybe just like me and another teacher or whoever else is in the room go around and check one by one. And then once they are finished with this final assessment, they can move on to the last slide, which is a game. So it says once you're finished with your final assessment, click on the title game, and you'll have a few minutes to play. Enjoy. So they are going to come up to the word game, click it, and it will take them to a fun little game where they can practice similes and metaphors in a game style and get them involved and hopefully have some fun with that. And then that is really all that I have for this assignment. I'm hoping that this helps the kids to really learn and be engaged and involved, but also have a lot of fun while going over this assignment and these things that they need to learn. And hopefully they'll enjoy it and just have fun.